Welcome to Wednesday Web Chat. This is Carl Lewis, your host from Vision 33. And today we're going to dispense with some of the announcements because I've got a few extra slides here and want to really get through this information with you about automations for SAP Business One. So let's begin. So what are automations for SAP Business One? Well, what we seek to do is to automate repetitive tasks and processes that kind of slow you down on a daily basis, right? There we have a bunch of pre-built sequences of automation actions for SAP Business One that kind of solve line of business pain points that, over the years we've discovered it would be really nice if in various parts of Business One. And they address functional gaps in SAP Business One, things that you might have thought, wow, maybe it should have done that, but it doesn't. So we've figured out ways to make that happen. And we replace some quite repetitive manual tasks and processes with some in the background automation. And automations are really easily customized, and additional automations can be created as you need them. So whether it's in finance, sales, service, inventory, and production, those lines of business, there's something here for just about everyone, or there can be depending on your needs. The primary business benefits that we try to accomplish in this process is that we want to be really outcome focused on these automations and maximize the return on investment of all technology investments, but especially when it comes to automations. So it's to improve operational efficiency by eliminating manual tasks like data entry and spreadsheet calculations, for instance, so that you can reassign key resources from data entry to doing other more productive things, which really helps you to scale your business operations, and especially when it comes to repetitive tasks, to avoid costly mistakes. So I'll give you a few examples off the top of my head, one from kind of different lines of business here. So in finance, for instance, the ability to automatically create AR invoices every time an open delivery note is processed in the system. So it basically takes that delivery note as soon as it's created and automatically creates an invoice. This way, the invoice gets into the processing as quickly as possible. It doesn't delay the process and doesn't delay, right, the cash. Now, in sales, for instance, every time a sales order is created, in a sales quote is created, I should say, in most organizations, an opportunity has to be created manually. So what if you could automatically, for every sales quote that's created, just create that opportunity and get that tracking process started? It'll give you much greater visibility into your pipeline and all the things that could happen and the likelihood that they will happen. And there are other nuances to that as well, but to automatically close them and automatically mark them as won or lost, things of that nature, based on what happens with the sales quote. And in inventory, an example might be to automatically calculate the min-max inventory levels, right? So this could eliminate the manual min-max calculations and data entry and greatly improve the accuracy of demand planning, MRP runs, and things like that. So those are just three quick examples of how things can be done and automated in those various lines of business that we spoke about. Now, many of you may have, Boyum's B1 usability pack, what we refer to as B1 Up, right? And it's designed for integration and automations also, but there's a strategic investment that grows with your business, and it's fully supported and doesn't require any custom code when you use automations for Business One from Vision 33. And that library is growing, and it's typically less expensive than trying to code automations with the Boyum B1 usability pack. Additionally, if you're familiar with the B1 Up, the system has to be running. Somebody has to be logged in, and their client has to be open, right, with Boyum being open at the same time in order for any of those automations to happen. And many of those automations require someone actually physically clicking on a button in order for them to occur. With B1 automations from Vision 33, nobody has to do that. They all occur in the background automatically. And so it just takes away again, and nobody has to be logged in. Nothing has to be running other than the server for those changes to occur. So let me go through a few other automations that are already available in the list of automations that we currently have for automations for SAP Business One in the financial area of business, right? So first, let's talk about liability accruals. This will automatically raise invoices and accrue for non-inventory and service GRPOs. That's one. And how about deferred revenue? We can automatically defer revenue journal entries for service contracts and raise invoices as defined in the billing contract schedule. So There's a lot of detail that goes into making that happen, 2 or 3 different things that have to happen, and we can automate that. AR invoices, as we spoke about, a very simple one and a very normal one that almost every business could utilize is automatically creating AR invoices every time a delivery note is processed, right? And when it's created, automatically gets an invoice created. Self-invoicing, automatically calculate how much vendor consignment inventory was used since the last AP invoice was issued, and automatically raise AP invoices to suppliers for consignment inventory that was consumed so that you always keep your supplies up to date at a certain quantity. And overdue accounts, the ability to automatically put overdue customer accounts on hold. So those are 5 examples of automations that are available. These are already created, simply have to be installed and slightly configured for your system today. Sales automations, right, for SAP Business One. So pick notes. We can automatically create pick notes for open orders, right? So that you don't have to do that process manually. If you do it order by order, this is a really great way to have them just done as the sales order is processed. Back-to-back orders, automatically create back-to-back orders. This prevents, from having to kind of open one, copy it, and things like that. So this will do it for you if certain features are marked appropriately and everything is set up right. A quote follow-up. Quotes get created and opportunities get created, but the ability to follow it up automatically, when you're creating that quote and automatically create a reminder for the quote creator to check back with the customer if they really want to purchase this or not, we can automatically create quote follow-up reminders. And as we mentioned earlier, as a quick example, sales opportunity, we can automatically create opportunities from sales quotes when they occur. Now, let's say, for instance, you were an organization that didn't use quotes, but you wanted an opportunity to occur when you created a sales order because you have a slightly different process. Can that be done? Absolutely. They can be customized, remember? Service automations for SAP Business One. What about service contracts? Well, we can automatically terminate service contracts when the end date is reached. And open delivery notes, we can automatically create an AR invoice for closed service calls that have an open delivery note. So we've done some work, we've provided some services to fix something, and we can automatically create that invoice for you. Let's give you a few examples from the inventory and production automations for SAP Business One. Subassembly production orders, one of my favorites actually, is the ability to create production orders for subassembly components. You might think that if you created a production order and it had several subassembly production orders within it, that SAP Business One would automatically create those for you. It does not. But with this automation active, yes, it can. And that can be a great time saver and can prevent a lot of errors and things being missed so that your production schedule stays on track. Production orders. We can automatically release production orders when it's appropriate. And we can do, as I mentioned earlier, the min-max inventory calculations and data entry so that your MRP runs and other demand planning that you might do will be a lot more accurate than if you're not using min-max levels. Now, as I mentioned, they're customizable, and we have a list of them, and there's always additional ones in the list that I didn't mention today. I haven't reviewed that list for a little while, but if you've got an idea for an automation, all you have to do is submit it, and it's able to be created. And if you deploy automations for SAP Business One and have a new idea, rest assured that we can make that happen. So now I want to give you a couple examples, demonstrations, if you will, of automations for SAP Business One in action. The first one here is how to auto-create subassembly production orders in SAP Business One.
Welcome to automations for SAP Business One. This video will demonstrate how to auto-create subassembly production orders in SAP Business One. The problem in this case is that SAP Business One does not automatically create subassembly production orders. So customers are creating subassembly orders manually. Manual data entry leads to, as we all know, mistakes, process bottlenecks, production delays, slower order to cash processes, and the customer dissatisfaction. The solution is automations for SAP Business One powered by Saltbox. This will increase efficiency, accuracy, productivity, and add to your operational scale. It will eliminate error-prone manual data entry. It will allow you to use staff for other important work and tasks. It can increase customer satisfaction because of on-time production and on-time delivery, and it will certainly improve cash flow. What's the process? Well, first off, as you create a production order in SAP Business One, in the background, an automated Saltbox workflow checks all new production orders, and it asks the question, are sub-assemblies required? And if the answer is yes, then sub-assembly production orders are created automatically. In our video example here, we have a production order that we're going to add to SAP Business One. Note that two of the items in the production order are themselves production orders or sub-assemblies. Those have not been added to the system. We're just looking at their bills of material. So we're going to add this production order to the system, and in the background, Saltbox normally runs in the background, but we're going to be showing it to you manually. Here's the production order that's been added. So now, you notice that those items are there, but those sub-assemblies have not been created. Saltbox running in the background. We're showing it manually, so you can see the results here today. And switching back to SAP Business One, now that Saltbox has done its work, we can take a look at the next two production orders that have been created, and they are the sub-assemblies associated with our parent production order. So they've been created automatically in the background without manual intervention. Thank you for watching Automations for SAP Business One, powered by Saltbox.
So that was one of our examples. Now we'll take a look at just one more. This one is to how to auto-create opportunities from sales quotes in SAP Business One.
Welcome to Automations for SAP Business One, powered by Saltbox. This video is about auto creation of opportunities from sales quotations in SAP Business One. The problem is that in SAP Business One, pipeline reports are rarely adopted because the underlying data is not captured or maintained. Companies instead rely on spreadsheets or custom reports to track pipeline. Pipeline maintenance is time-consuming, custom reports are expensive, and manual reporting is error-prone. The solution is Automations for SAP Business One, powered by Saltbox. It will improve pipeline visibility, accuracy, and sales forecasting. We can leverage pre-built opportunity reports in SAP Business One, quickly perform win-loss analysis, reduce pipeline maintenance, and even increase operational efficiencies. The automation process: first, as a quote is created in SAP Business One, Saltbox will auto-generate an opportunity and link it to the quotation. Quotation revisions will be automatically reflected in the linked opportunity. Opportunity status changes to won or lost happens when a quote is closed. When a quote is closed with an order, meaning it's won, the opportunity is updated to won. When the quote is closed without a sales order being created, it is lost, and the opportunity is updated as lost. In our example in SAP Business One, we have two sales quotations, one that has already been added to the system and one that we're about to add for the first time. One of these quotations already has an opportunity associated with it. It's the one for MaxiPay. Telling us that our business partner is inactive, so we'll change that in order to make changes to the quotation. And now we can add the sales order to the system. Excuse me, we've added the sales quotation to the system. Both of our quotations have now been added to the system. We'll retrieve them so that we can continue to look at them. Notice the numbers and the details on each one of them. Notice that the MaxiTech opportunity had been slightly updated. That's because that Saltbox here is running in the background normally. We're showing it to you manually so you can get a perspective on what it does. You'll see the results page here of all the things that it's found and executed in the background. I'll go back to Business One, take a look at our two sales quotations again, and notice that for each of them now, there is an opportunity created in SAP Business One, and that all the data in the opportunity matches the total of all the individual lines in the sales quotation. Now we'll update these individual sales quotations. First of all, we'll take one of them and copy it to a sales order. We need a delivery date. Let's update that first, and then we'll add it one more time, and this time we'll be successful. The other sales quotation, we're going to close it because the customers decided not to purchase. Back to Saltbox again to, in the background, update the opportunities that it has created, now still associated with the sales quotations. The results page will appear when it's finished its work. Again, normally in the background. There's our results page with all the different actions it's taken. Back to SAP Business One. We'll take a look at our documents again, refreshing all of them. Notice that this sales quotation for MaxiTech has been closed and that the opportunity has been won for MaxiTech because a sales order was created. Looking at our other sales quotation, you'll notice that its associated opportunity has been lost. There you see it, because we closed this sales quotation without a sales order being processed. That's our automation for SAP Business One, powered by Saltbox. Thank you for watching.
Thank you indeed for being a part of today's Wednesday web chat presentation on automations for SAP Business One. As you noticed in the videos, these are powered by our Saltbox integration platform as a service application, which does many things for us from integrations and automation standpoint in SAP Business One. So if you are interested in automations of this nature and think it would have value in your business, I encourage you to reach out to your customer relationship manager and let them know that you would like more details about automations for SAP Business One. In case you were wondering, yes, you will receive an email in just a few days with this presentation link and perhaps a copy of it so that you can share it with others in your business. Thanks again for being part of Wednesday Web Chat. We will see you again on the next episode.